The Philippines Tzu Chi volunteers held an aid distribution in Dulag Town, relieving the temporary needs of disaster survivors. We meet some kitchen volunteers that have been cooking delicious hot meals for Typhoon Haiyan survivors in the Philippines. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Helen Liao. Thank you for joining us. As part of their long-term relief efforts to help Typhoon Haiyan survivors, Tzu Chi volunteers found their way to the needy residents in Dulag. As the typhoon ruined groups of coconut trees, the major cash crops of the town, the volunteers brought aid supplies to relieve the temporary needs of the disaster survivors.
Facing the Pacific Ocean, the coastal town of Dulag of Leyte Province is one of the most severely devastated areas. In the wake of Typhoon Haiyan, many local residents lost their major cash crop, coconut trees.
For the locals, coconuts are a main staple. They eat coconuts, use them to make coconut oil, drink coconut juice, and use coconut trunks to build houses.
We
have to wait for a long time before we can harvest coconuts again, at least 13 years.
The locals say that it requires 7 to 10 years before they can once again harvest coconuts. Now that the typhoon had destroyed their livelihood, Tzu Chi volunteers bring aid supplies to relieve their temporary needs. Standing under the scorching sun with smiles on their faces, local residents are still patiently waiting for Tzu Chi's aid distribution.
I'm happy to see Tzu Chi here helping us.
To receive Tzu Chi's aid supplies, this 80-year-old senior arrived here 3 hours in advance, carrying a large bag with water and bread.
I have 2 sons and 5 grandsons. My name is on the recipients list, so I'm here to pick the relief items by myself.
Joining Tzu Chi volunteers in prayer, these aid recipients experience heartfelt compassion of the NGO. Following suit, they also donate their spare change to help those in greater need. The relief items include bags of rice, canvas, straw mattresses, and mosquito nets. Volunteers also prepare instant rice for the recipients. Inspired by the volunteers, the mayor of the town also does his part to help out.
I fear for their suffering. They're hungry, so I'm here to serve them rice.
Many recipients are hungry, so we prepared instant rice for them. They love it very much. They said they love to eat the rice because it is from Taiwan. They can't buy it in the Philippines.
Joyous aid recipients bring Tzu Chi's hot meals back home to share with their families too.
I'm very happy because it is delicious. Though there's no vegetables in the rice, there are many other ingredients.
Seeing the recipients' faces light up with smiles, Tzu Chi volunteers realize that their dedication and effort are all worthwhile.
Rebuilding efforts in the Philippines continue as 9 prefabricated classrooms for Tunga Elementary School in Tacloban were completed ahead of schedule on December 9, and a celebration was held when the classrooms were completed. Once chairs and desks are moved in, classes can once again resume for the students of Tunga.
Here at Tunga Elementary School, 18 out of the 26 classrooms were damaged by Typhoon Haiyan. Classrooms without ceiling tiles like this one continue to be in use. And as for the classrooms that were not damaged, different classes take turns using them. However, soon these children will no longer have to switch off using the classrooms. The 9 prefabricated shelters have been built. To celebrate this momentous occasion, all of Tunga Elementary students are here. 10-year-old John draws the thank you card, expressing the bond between Tacloban and Tzu Chi. A hand-picked bouquet of flowers is a simple yet heartfelt gift that the children wanted to present to Tzu Chi volunteers. Teachers also wrote a song called Tzu Chi in Tonga, which the children sang, voicing their gratitude for all that the volunteers have done for their school. One by one, garlands are hung on the volunteers' necks, and their tears well up in the men's eyes as emotions overcome them.
They are very lucky. I'm very blessed to be able to help them. Although it's my first time here, seeing them, I feel so touched.
Seeing the joy on these children's faces, we're very glad to have done this for them.
To say it was easy to build the 9 classrooms would be a lie. The 10 volunteers can attest to this. However, during the 6 days of construction, the children and volunteers spent much time together. And after all the sweat and hard work, seeing the smiles on the children's faces makes the whole ordeal worthwhile.
To help students in the Central Philippines resume their education after Typhoon Haiyan, Tzu Chi is donating prefabricated classrooms to schools in need. 9 have already been erected in Tungat Elementary School, while 2 were supposed to be installed in Tacloban Sacred Heart College. Only 1 went up. We find out why.
Sacred Heart College sustained heavy damage due to Typhoon Haiyan. Here at the top on the 3rd floor, we can see that the roof and ceiling have all been blown away. Unable to shield students from the elements, classes can no longer be held here.
To help, Tzu Chi has donated 2 prefabricated classrooms.
At first, we asked for 2 classrooms. However, after a closer look, we realized we can all squeeze in and fit in the rest of the classrooms.
The compassionate principal decides to share one of the classrooms with schools in more need. By utilizing the school's chemistry lab, language lab, and library, all students should be able to fit.
I now truly see humanity as one, a completely united body. We should not be separated by religions or regions. Wherever there are troubles, we should all do our best to help.
What touches me is that she is willing to share one of the classrooms with more needy schools.
8 volunteers from Central Taiwan are joined by 6 local volunteers to put the classroom together. After making sure all parts are in place, they began carefully assembling the structure. These volunteers come from all walks of life. Chen Jiehuang is a computer engineer by trade. Once, after falling seriously ill, he was inspired to walk in the Bodhisattva path. However, manual labor is something new for him.
Since I started working, I have only been typing on computers. The heaviest items I lift are my chopsticks and child.
65-year-old shiatsu massage therapist Zhang Biaolie has been with Tzu Chi for over 20 years. This is his first international relief assignment.
People with a compassionate heart are the wealthiest, so I must join international relief missions.
Lai Jinqi owns a home appliance shop. He used to smoke, drink, and eat meat, but gave them all up after joining Tzu Chi. The trip is a dream come true for him.
Tzu Chi's 4 endeavors and 8 footprints. I've pretty much practiced all of them except this. Coming here lets me personally take part in this international disaster relief, fulfilling my dream.
Cultivating their spirituality while helping those in need, these bodhisattvas continue on their path.
In the Philippines, Tacloban, although Tzu Chi's Cash for War program has come to an end, Tzu Chi's makeshift kitchen continues to churn out hot and delicious instant rice for Typhoon Haiyan victims. We go behind the scenes to understand the hard work and dedication of the kitchen volunteers.
In the Philippines, Tacloban City, over 100 boxes of Tzu Chi instant rice are cooked every day by these kitchen volunteers. One of the main figures who helps keep this kitchen running smoothly is Cai Meiyu from Taiwan.
We pour in the instant rice about now and stir until it is thick and lumpy. Then we cover it. After 15 minutes, we take off the lid and stir again.
An instant rice expert, Cai decided to fly to Tacloban to help Haiyan victims.
I saw on TV that Sister Meiju was very sorry that she couldn't provide instant rice meals to disaster victims until November 26th. I also saw that the instant rice wasn't prepared properly. I truly admire Sister Meiju's courage for taking on such a heavy burden.
With Tsai's arrival, the instant rice is finally cooked properly. Local volunteers take the opportunity to learn from her.
She truly helped me out quite a lot. She taught me how to prepare the instant rice.
In truth, Lu Li Qing gets up at 2 in the morning every day for kitchen duty.
I'd be lying to say this is not tiring, but Master Zheng Yan once said she cares and worries for all living beings, so I need to be determined just like the Master.
100 boxes of instant rice weigh about 1 ton. Plus, extra ingredients are added, which makes the work even harder. Daily purchases of extra ingredients prove the most troublesome for Lu.
There isn't a lot of variety, plus we are vegetarians. We need to make it flavorful to be appetizing, so there are many challenges when cooking. Noodles and tofu are not available here. We can only add vegetables.
Today, a French volunteer shows up to lend his strength.
I met a friend in Manila, and then she introduced me to Tzu Chi Foundation. She told me it was a very good organization, so I took some information, I checked on internet, and then I decided to come here to join the relief.
There is also a volunteer who hails from Japan.
Unfortunately, I didn't really know about it because there's a lot of organizations was helping, and you guys became just one of them. So it's just for me. I was in Tokyo.
In this makeshift kitchen, Tzu Chi's recipes and spirit are passed down properly. The kitchen is never understaffed, as on average, more than 20 volunteers come to help out every day. They make sure that delivery can be made starting from 10 o'clock. The fresh and hot food not only fills the victims' stomachs, but there's also enough left over for them to take home for their next meal.
Tzu Chi's Cash Reward program in the Philippines, Tacloban, came to an end on December 8th. During this time, many inspiring stories arose from the ruins. In our next report, we meet 26-year-old Rodolph, who said Tzu Chi's instant rice meal gave him the strength and motivation to carry on.
Residents work swiftly in teams to clear out the debris, and they're one step closer to rebuilding their homes. For the Mendoza couple, their hearts are finally at rest, knowing that help has finally been extended their way.
I told the volunteers we are from Palo. We need your help. Please help us. Our staff hasn't eaten for a long time. If I had the money, I would buy food for them to eat, but I don't have any money.
As the Mendoza's home and factory were destroyed by Typhoon Haiyan, along with their 8 staff members, they became victims overnight. Having heard about Tzu Chi's Cash Forward program, they traveled from Palo to Tacloban. Given the opportunity to work and be compensated, upon receiving their pay for the day, the workers break into smiles.
This is very important to us as we have lost everything. Thank you so much.
The process of distributing compensation can also bring to light a person's character.
There are only 9 of us. This money is extra, so I brought it back.
3, go, 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 go!
In addition, Tzu Chi volunteers received a special surprise on this day. 26-year-old Randolph painted an enormous banner to show his heartfelt gratitude to Tzu Chi.
I am truly grateful for the volunteers' patience. Sometimes the cash for work sites can get a bit chaotic and messy, so I want to thank the volunteers for always being so patient.
The next day, Tzu Chi volunteers arrive to pay Randolph a visit at his home, and he immediately shows off his talent.
Maliban sa instant rice, syempre yung morality ng mga tao.
Tzu Chi's instant rice gave me energy and motivation. Although most people lost their homes, they did not lose hope. This really moved me and inspired me to do something I don't usually do.
Kaya nagagawa ko yung mga ganon, yung mga bagay na hindi ko dati ginagawa na.
Using his creativity, Randolph has added a touch of color to the Cash Forward program in Tacloban through his art.
The destruction brought about by Typhoon Haiyan was unprecedented in Tacloban, Philippines, which destroyed not only the lives of local residents, but also the economic stability in the area. In the immediate aftermath of the disaster, shops not only had to clean up after ruined merchandise, but also faced looting. To help, Tzu Chi volunteers took the opportunity to pay shop owners a visit, bring comfort and words of encouragement.
Outside this hardware store in Tacloban, Philippines, residents line up to buy materials to rebuild their houses.
I am purchasing nails and adhesive.
Thanks to 7 days of wages from Tzu Chi's Cash for Work program, Antonio has enough money to pay for his purchase. But for this shop owner, he faces local residents with mixed emotions, as his store was robbed 3 days in a row in the immediate aftermath of Typhoon Haiyan.
Sharing
the same sentiment, many stores will only sell their merchandise through a gated opening. However, being able to reopen is a blessing on its own, as some stores like this one have yet to recover even a month after the disaster. To show the Chinese shop owners that Tzu Chi also cares about them, volunteers visit each shop to bring some comfort and words of encouragement. The Chinese population only makes up 5% of all of Tacloban's population. However, they are the main economic pillar in the region. For these shops to return to their former glory will take not only time but also courage. Returning Tzu Chi volunteers' kind words with their own kindness, it is evident the city will soon recover.
In China, Xiamen, to make sure Tzu Chi care recipient Yang Xiaodong continues with rehabilitation, local volunteers accompany him to the Zhongshan Hospital every day. Other than caring for Xiaodong's health, the volunteers have also thoughtfully looked after every detail of his daily life.
我们先去看一下你的香蕉啊，看看有没有浇水，没有浇水，叔宝帮你再浇一点哈。
On the second day after Xiaodong arrives home in Xiamen, he invites the volunteers to visit his little farm.
这凤梨啊，凤梨，你当时是怎么种的？
哦，这是当时自己种的。
This traditional village house in Xiamei village is where Xiaodong used to live before he sought medical treatment in Taiwan.
回来了。
Walking into a small room that is filled with broken furniture and garbage, this place is where Xiaodong used to live. However, what stands out in the room is a Jingsi aphorism poster given by the Tzu Chi volunteers.
这是你的写照啦。
不要小看自己，因为人有无限的可能。
就是你。
With the help of local government officials, Xiaodong's family now lives in a new home. Although now living in a better environment, local Tzu Chi volunteers still insist on looking after Xiaodong's daily life.
因为原来是
Before he had a squat toilet, and a physical therapist told us that Xiaodong shouldn't use a squat toilet because it may affect his hip. We quickly went and purchased a mobile toilet chair for him to make sure he doesn't injure himself in the future.
会造成伤害哈。
Seeing the progress Xiaodong has made, the head of Xiamei village expresses his amazement and gratitude.
你看到现在他这样真的是。
I am amazed to see his progress. I want to thank all the charity organizations in Taiwan that cared for Xiaodong. I'm truly touched.
关心了，真的很感动，真的是。
Tzu Chi volunteers also visited a furniture store to purchase a new table and chairs that are suitable for Yang Xiaodong and his family.
We want him to sit straight, not to lean forward or backward. He needs to have a proper posture. I want to imagine what Xiaodong feels like when sitting on this chair. Superintendent Chen told us that Xiaodong has to sit on a chair that is higher than a knee-high chair. He also has to be able to sit up straight.
Is this table okay? In the future, the whole family can eat together. You can fold this table in like this. When people come into your house, they can see that the whole family is together. Isn't it great? Today we are holding the first family meeting, which is starting now. Let's have Yang Xiaodong's sister-in-law as the host. Xiaodong's brother, you can speak first. What do you think?
饭桌做好了，我们也希望他能够。
We hope the whole family can sit at the dining table and eat together. We want to provide the young family with a sense of warmth. A happy family will definitely help Xiaodong on the road to recovery.
Grandma, when you see Xiaodong, remember to give him your blessing and encouragement. Together we can provide him with love and care.
Visiting Xiaodong's neighbors door to door, the volunteers hope local residents can welcome the young family, give Xiaodong their blessings, and at the same time gain a better understanding of Tzu Chi.
不会就是跟
Before, Xiaodong wouldn't interact with his neighbors, and that's probably why he was unwilling to embrace the world. We hope that with our help, Xiaodong's neighbors will give him words of encouragement and their blessings.
Thanks to the help of Xiamen Tzu Chi volunteers, the relationship between the neighborhood and the young family is now better than ever. In Thailand, a fire broke out in Kong Tay district of Bangkok in mid-October, leaving 115 households homeless. Upon learning of the disaster, Tzu Chi volunteers immediately conducted an aid distribution to help the fire survivors. Now, some 2 months later, the community has been rebuilt, and Tzu Chi volunteers returned to arrange a housewarming gathering and offer much-needed daily necessities.
Showing Tzu Chi volunteers that this is where her new home will be built, fire survivor Bimbara says she was lucky to survive the fire and thankful for Tzu Chi's long-term care.
Can
63-year-old Bimbara had encountered another fire 19 years ago. Losing everything once again, she learns to change her mindset and seizes the chance to do good deeds.
I want to continue to create blessings and save spare changes into my bamboo coin bank. Life is impermanent. We may face another tragedy in the future, so we need to learn to support one another.
Over the past 7 years, Tzu Chi volunteers have continued their care for the residents in this community in Bangkok's Kong Tay district and thus established a strong bond.
I'm very thankful for the Tzu Chi Foundation. They have helped us non-stop.
At the housewarming gathering, Tzu Chi volunteers not only give them daily necessities, but also encourage them to extend their blessings to those affected by Typhoon Haiyan in the Philippines.
We go to Taiwan at the end of the show to help those devastated by Typhoon Haiyan in the Philippines. Tainan Tzu Chi volunteers gathered together and made 12,000 vegetarian sticky rice dumplings for an upcoming charity sale. Many volunteers also donated their filled bamboo coin bank to show their support. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.